Gonna go ahead and start this video off, show my ID with my name, just so you know that it's me doing it. Anybody that scrolls across YouTube and sees this, it's for a class project. But today we're going to be talking about the moral dilemma that is, should vaccines be mandatory or not? And for that question, I have an answer. The answer is yes. But why is that? Why should vaccines be mandatory? Let's look into moral realism for that. Moral realism, if you didn't already know, is one of the ethical theories that explains that there are moral truths and that between morality, there are facts and there are, false statements. Such as saying, like, killing a defenseless killing a defenseless person is wrong, just as you would say 2 + 2 = 4. And with that, it goes into vaccine mandates based on how it helps the people. It kind of digs into utilitarianism. While it does contradict it a little bit, more so, it helps maximize the well-being and health of the people. Does it take away from the free choice of the people? Yes. But in hindsight, it still helps us grow as a society. In this video, I have it with Philosophy Vibe. It explains kind of the reasoning why we're so passionate about ethics. Kind of why morally we feel justified to, debate these topics and be not spiritual, but very passionate about them.
Which is fact-based and has
I'm going
truth
to turn
to
it up
it.
just a little bit.
This explains why we as humans are so passionate about morality, why we care so much. It's not just some arbitrary feeling an individual has, but there is actual moral truth attached to the universe and to the human experience. It also means that moral behavior can be governed and regulated, as there is a truth that covers us, and we can all safely say evil acts are wrong in and of themselves and not just down to personal sensibility. And so, if there is moral objective facts independent of human emotions, then we can be held morally accountable for our actions. We can be considered morally right or morally wrong as an objective truth. Moral statements can then be logically scrutinized and logically evaluated, and we as people have a moral truth to aim for. Our actions, the way we live, the choices we make, these carry a deeper sense of meaning because of it. Granted, however,
With that, he does explain why we feel so passionate about these moral dilemmas. I understand with people coming from religious views, like the most notable note being Christians, seeing as most of the time they're more in the, if you would call it, anti-vax kind of category. Not to categorize people, but that seems to be the sense of where they're coming from. That seems to be something that's true to their heart and why they're very passionate about it. What was I going to say? Right. I need to look back over this real quick just to make sure I remember it, because I have my essay and this pulled up. Sorry if this is taking too long. I'm trying to be under 5 minutes, I promise. And with that, we can look at this from, as you asked, a cross-cultural perspective. We can look towards kind of where in the Middle East, Asia, they respond to these differently than we did in the United States. We can take COVID-19 as an example, where we went under a lockdown for a really strong lockdown for about 2 weeks, compared to, let's say, China. More or less, it may have been because of how they were being scrutinized for it. When facts were being thrown up in the air, it was all chaotic. Where they were on lockdown, like police and military lockdown, for several months, compared to the United States, which had a much more free will based lockdown. So you need to stay inside, but we're not going to force you, unless you're talking about places that are more densely populated, like New York, or Los Angeles, Chicago, anywhere like that. And for my scholarly resource, I chose the John Hopkins, let me check. It was the John Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. They explain why the vaccine mandates are better for especially employers, just based on how it prevents people from being sick, it creates a safer work environment, and overall helps everyone in the end. I'm sorry if this video was too long. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I kind of klutzed around a little bit. I'm not the best at speaking, directly towards people or like public speaking, but I hoped you learned why I view that vaccine mandates should be mandated and why they are morally acceptable. Thank you.